that game in the divisional loss in
Buffalo return. I mean, there's a lot of guys come back. How much do you feel that game, that last game, will serve as motivation for this one?
It was going to be a great motivation. It was the last game that we played as a unit, so to go back there and to play the same team that we lost to, that we believe that we should have won. We made self-inflicting mistakes, so everybody's fired, everybody's pumped up, everybody's ready to go. But it's just one day at a time at this point, so yeah.
Is it something you guys discuss at all, or make mention of? Is it something you guys even like do discuss it? You know, is there like a revenge factor or anything like that you guys talk about, and whether it's conversation, meetings, or whatever?
Yeah, it is. It's definitely you want to get that bad taste out of your mouth from the last game that we played over there. So it gets everybody fired up and ready to go, and gives us like a motivational factor just to put our best foot forward in practice. So.
No, I mean, a lot of goes into building a team over the course of an entire offseason, but now that week one is here, how do things change when you get to this point and, you know, everything's kind of looking ahead to week one?
Yeah, just locking in on the little things now. You know, camp is over with, and it's just about locking on the little things, being on point and everything, because now it really, really counts. So everybody just locking in, doing the little things right. And it's getting in that in-season routine. You know, you have a camp routine, they have like an in-season routine. You're clocking in different, you're going home at different times, so you have to adjust to the in-season routine. So that's what we're doing right now.
When you talk to your teammates about the game, it's been discussed, the new guys, I mean, is that something you try and pass along with the guys that weren't here and were part of it last year at the end? Yeah,
just the mentality that we're going into there with, you know, just locking in and just doing all that we can do as a team, and just playing Raven football, offense, defense, special teams, and just getting that taste out of our mouth. You know, definitely having that game last year and losing and going back to it the first game of the season this year, you know, it definitely gives us like a little bit more of like excitement, a little bit of a motivation to go out there and do what we can do.
Have you gone back and watched, I think?
Yes, I have.
What was that like for you?
It's not a good feeling we lost. There's things that we did good, there's things that we did bad, but the bad override the good, and that's what we lost. So, you know, it's definitely something that we're looking to, and we really want to tighten the bolts on that. So.
Do you like the idea of starting in Buffalo, knowing where last season ended and knowing what you hope to accomplish this year? Do you like the idea of getting that bad taste out of your mouth week one and going right back there?
It don't matter where we play, for real, honestly. But the fact that it's in Buffalo and that was the last team that we played and that's the last place that we played, you know, it gives us more extra motivation, you know, to get that taste out of our mouth. You know, the last time that we were here, we lost. So we wanted to change that by executing practice and just taking it one day at a time.
How important is it to start fast, just overall, but especially with the defense?
It's huge, setting the tone. Starting fast sets the tone for the whole, not only the defense, but for the whole team as well. Starting fast and finishing strong, that's what we're all about. So it starts in practice, though. It starts with everybody being locked in on the game plan, trusting ZO, being in your spot and doing your 111.
Mark Washington said that as a defensive line, he didn't like how you guys played in that game. I guess what are the focuses for you guys from that game heading into this one?
Stopping the run, you know, they have some good backs. That backs are really shifty, making them one-dimensional, making the QB very uncomfortable. You know, when he's very, very uncomfortable, he starts to do things that, you know, are unorthodox of him. So we want to put him in spots that are very, very tight, spots that are very uncomfortable, so we can capitalize on those opportunities.
Marlon has talked about feeling like the defense isn't as feared as he thinks it should be. Is that a thought that's shared by other defensive leaders? Like, have you guys talked about that as a group, like trying to bring that back, or what's your take on that?
I saw something online about that. You know, it wasn't something that we talked about in the defensive group. That's how Marlon feels. That's how he said it. I feel like, you know, we have the right guys on this team, on the defense, offense, everybody to take it all the way to the top. And, you know, it just starts in practice and it starts in just winning games every week. So, you know, that's how he feels. And, you know, I believe in the guys in this team, in this locker room. And I'm all about my guys and what they can do. So.
In watching you guys pretty much every day this summer, we kind of noticed the emphasis on takeaways, creating turnovers. Mm-hmm. How much of a point of emphasis do you feel going into this game, not only getting to Josh Allen, which is sometimes difficult, but also maybe getting the ball away, stripping, making something, something else happen.
It's huge. It's huge when you take the ball away from the offense. When you win the turnover battles, you're more likely to win the game. So, I feel like the last time we went out there, they won the turnover battle. I think we had 0 turnovers and they had 3, I believe. So, and it was still a tight game. So, just imagine we even had the same amount of takeaways as they did. Just if you really put the math, you know what I mean? So I think that, making emphasis on making turnovers in practice and then translating into the game is going to make us win games for sure.
A lot of people see that Buffalo offensive line as being one of the best in the NFL. I know you haven't played this year's version, but do you have any thoughts on their overall quality and whether this is kind of a measuring stick game for what your defensive line could be up against a line of that caliber?
Yeah, they have a good O-line, I think they have all the guys that they had last year. It's going to be a good test for us, We are watching the film that we did last year and just things that worked, things that didn't work, ways that we can scheme them up, and that's what we're doing now in practice. So we're all excited about it. We're all fired up to get ready to go. It's like revving a car up, You're getting the engine going, but it's not takeoff time yet, So you just have to be patient and just stay revving, stay practicing, stay sharp, and you're ready to play. So.